Boston Convention Center buzzed with December energy. Morning sunlight stretched across towering glass windows. Executives moved briskly, voices sharp, confident. Cameras flashed as journalists prepared eager questions. Marble floors reflected wealth, power, ambition. Amid success stood one misplaced small figure. A 6-year-old girl waited. Her name was Lily Harper alone. Lily clutched a worn photograph tightly. Her pink coat showed years' hardship. The zipper stuck, fabric thinning badly. Light-up sneakers blinked, weak fading. Yet Lily's eyes burned hopeful bright. She stared toward a silver-haired man. He wore a flawless suit, authority embodied. Important people circled him, attentively, listening. Lily's heart pounded loudly inside chest. Mommy said find Grandpa here today. Mommy said Grandpa would protect Lily. Mommy promised everything would become okay. Lily inhaled deeply, then ran forward. Sneakers squeaked loudly on polished marble. Grandpa, Lily finally found you today. Her voice sliced through crowded lobby noise. Conversations halted, heads turning, curious, shocked. The silver-haired man turned confused. His name was Edward Lawson Sr. He paused mid-discussion about merger. Beside him stood elegant woman watching. Her name was Vivian Cole, poised. Vivian's surprise shifted quickly into calculation. A reporter lifted recorder sensing story. Is this your granddaughter, sir? Question. The air froze heavy with tension. Edward studied the child before him. She looked fragile, desperate, painfully sincere. Tangled curls escaped. Cheap knit hat. Dirt smudged one small cheek softly. Eyes far older than 6. Little girl, you are mistaken, Edward. I am not your grandfather, child. Lily shook head, tears forming fast. You are Grandpa, Mommy said so. Her voice cracked with raw desperation. Vivian stepped forward, smiling falsely, sweetly. Edward, this child wants attention, clearly. Press conference is starting, let's go. Lily looked up, confused, hurt, frightened. Auntie, I am not lying. Mommy told Lily to find Grandpa. Vivian's eyes hardened momentarily with contempt. Security should remove this child immediately. Police will handle little scammers like her. Lily panicked, remembering shelter police stories. Please don't call police, Auntie. Lily just wants family only. Edward shifted uneasily, conflicted watching her. Something about her grief felt familiar. Go home, find your mother, Edward. Those words struck Lily painfully deep. I have no home, Grandpa. Mommy told me, come here. Several onlookers paused, whispering quietly now. Edward frowned, curiosity fighting impatience inside. What is your mother's name, child? Vivian interrupted smoothly, dismissing the question. Names do not matter, she lies. Lily sobbed louder, clutching her coat. You are Edward Lawson, my grandpa. Please believe, Lily, just once. Her hands shook, digging pocket frantically. Lily has proof, she whispered. She pulled out faded photograph, trembling. Edges worn soft from years. A young woman held a baby. The woman smiled, radiant, hopeful, alive. This is my mommy, Lily said. Please, look, Grandpa, just look. Vivian lunged forward, anger flashing briefly. Enough of this ridiculous performance. Now, she snatched photograph from Lily harshly. Edward shouted, Vivian, stop immediately. Too late, paper tore loudly. Vivian ripped photographs again. Shreds fluttered downward like dead leaves. Lily screamed, heartbreaking, completely apart. Edward froze, torn between scheduled conscience. He sighed, pulling wallet reluctantly out. Give her money in this. Vivian smiled venom, disguised as kindness. She tossed crisp bills downward, carelessly. Take it and leave now. Money scattered across white marble floor. Lily ignored cash, staring shattered photo. She dropped knees, gathering torn pieces. I am sorry, Mommy, Lily cried. People noticed. Money greed awakened instantly. Someone shouted money on floor. Crowd surged, hands grabbing, shoving, pushing. Expensive shoes stepped on small fingers. Lily was knocked sideways, painfully hard. Briefcase struck her shoulders sharply. Chaos exploded, noise, greed, desperation, everywhere. Wine from doors lifted, photograph, peace. No, Mommy Lily, screamed chasing it. She ran blindly through crowd, sobbing. Security shouted warnings, ignored by all. Lily burst through revolving doors outside. Cold air slapped her tear face. The photo fragment danced just ahead. Whose child is this? Someone yelled. Taxi, screeched stopping, inches away. Driver shouted angrily, red-faced. Lily barely heard anything now. She only chased Mommy's face. The wind carried fragment farther away. Lily whispered, Mommy said, Grandpa, help! Inside, auditorium lights dimmed formally. Press conference began exactly on time. Edward stood at podium, composed outwardly. Cameras flashed repeatedly, blinding momentarily. But his mind replayed Lily's face. Those eyes felt hauntingly familiar. Media session open. Reporter stood quickly. Asked about missing daughter, rumors. Publicly. Edward stiffened. Vivian tensed beside him. He denied rumors. Voice firm. Cold. Claimed daughter, studying abroad, returning soon. Inheritance remains for daughter only. Vivian's face paled, rage simmering. She vowed silently to eliminate threats. Conference ended. Applause polite, controlled. Edward loosened, tie unease. Growing, something felt terribly wrong today. Back office, Edward questioned Vivian sharply. Find that child, bring her up. Vivian dismissed idea confidently, lying. Security chief volunteered search promptly. Outside, Lily chased fragment across plaza. She begged strangers for help repeatedly. Everyone ignored her, walked away. Finally, she clutched half photograph. Only her mother's face remained. Guards approached, ordering Lily to leave. She pleaded for help, tired, scared. Threats of police forced her away. Lily wandered streets, hungry, freezing, alone. Evening shadows stretched across Boston roads. She whispered apologies to Mommy. Warm bakery smell pulled her inside. She asked baker, cheapest bun softly. No money meant no food. Lily pressed face against cold glass. Night felt, temperature dropping dangerously. Lily curled doorway, shivering uncontrollably. Morning came. Gray, cruel, unforgiving. Two men noticed Lily near trash. They smiled falsely, offering food help. Lily followed, desperate, trusting innocent. Meanwhile, Edward found photograph fragment desk. He recognized unique necklace instantly. Memories of daughter flooded violently back. His hand shook, terror, realization dawning. He shouted orders, find that child. Every camera, every street, now. Sir, they found her location. Abandoned warehouse, Dock Street confirmed. Edward grabbed coat, fury. Ignited. Police sirens wailed through city. At warehouse, Lily cried, bound, terrified. Men mocked her, Grandpa claimed, laughing. Doors crashed open, light flooding inside. Edward stormed in, commanding release, now. Police arrested men immediately, forcefully. Lily sobbed, Grandpa, you came. Edward held her, shaken, apologizing. Hospital lights blurred as Lily slept. Edward waited, pacing, guilt crushing. Tests confirmed. Blood relation, undeniable truth. Edward whispered, forgive me, Lily. Morning light crept through hospital blinds. Lily slept quietly, small chest rising. Edward sat nearby, eyes red, tired. Machines beeped softly, steady, reassuring rhythm. Doctors confirmed she was stable now. Malnourished, frightened, but strong inside. Edward felt shame press heavily inward. Memories replayed his daughter, leaving years he'd chosen business over family. That choice echoed painfully through Lily. A nurse entered, offering gentle update. She asked, are you her guardian? Edward hesitated, then answered firmly, yes. He signed papers with trembling hand. Lily stirred, eyes fluttering slowly open. Grandpa, you came back, she whispered. Edward leaned close, voice breaking softly. I am here forever now. Lily smiled weakly, clutching his finger. Tears rolled freely down Edward's face. Vivian watched news footage angrily alone. Headlines questioned family secrets publicly now. She smashed glass, furious, losing control. Lawyers called, warning inheritance, complications arising. Vivian plotted swiftly, coldly, calculating options. Edward left hospital briefly for board. Executives waited anxiously, sensing instability ahead. Edward announced, leave effective immediately. Shock rippled through the boardroom. Family emergency requires my presence now. Vivian objected loudly, citing shareholder panic. Edward silenced her with authority. This company survives without me temporarily. My granddaughter cannot survive without me. Words carried weight, finality undeniable. Edward returned hospital, holding stuffed bear. Lily's eyes lit up joyfully. For me, she asked, hopeful. Edward nodded, smiling warmly. Absolutely. Lily hugged Bear, whispering thank you. Social worker arrived, explaining procedures calmly. Custody required investigation and hearings. Edward agreed to everything willingly. I will comply with all steps. Lily listened, fear creeping quietly back. Grandpa, will I go away? Edward answered quickly, firmly, reassuringly. Never again, I promise you. Vivian arrived hospital, feigning concern. She brought flowers, cameras, waiting outside. Edward confronted her privately, sternly. Stay away from Lily, forever. Vivian smiled thinly, hiding resentment. I only want family peace. Edward replied, you destroyed evidence before. Vivian denied, smoothly blaming misunderstanding. Edward warned, I will expose truth. Vivian left fury simmering beneath poise. Lily sensed tension, asking quietly, Grandpa, is she angry at me? Edward hugged Lily tightly, protectively. She is angry at herself. Days passed with legal meetings. Constant. Edward learned daughter had died. Years accident overseas, buried quietly unnoticed. Vivian had hidden truth for control. Edward's grief resurfaced, painfully doubled. He mourned daughter through Lily now. Lily attended therapy, drawing pictures. She drew Grandpa holding her hand. Edward framed drawing proudly bedside. Press continued speculating relentlessly outside. Edward ignored calls, prioritizing Lily. One evening, Lily asked serious question. Grandpa, why Mommy gone forever? Edward struggled, answering truth gently. Mommy loved you very much. She trusted Grandpa to protect. Lily nodded, absorbing loss quietly. She asked, can we live together? Edward smiled, tears threatening again. Yes, we will live together. Lawyers prepared custody, emergency filing. Judge expedited case, citing danger. Vivian attempted injunction, blocking transfer. Evidence of deception surfaced rapidly. Security footage showed photo destruction. Witnesses confirmed Vivian's cruel actions. Public opinion shifted dramatically overnight. Edward testified honestly without shielding truth. He admitted failure as father before. Court recognized sincerity, accountability, remorse. Temporary custody granted to Edward. Lily squeezed his hand tightly, smiling. Outside courthouse reporters shouted questions loudly. Edward shielded Lily, calmly walking away. They entered car together, silently. Lily rested head against seat. She asked, where is home now? Edward replied, wherever we are. Edward's mansion, prepared children's room. Staff received strict instructions, kindness, priority. Lily explored rooms wide-eyed, curious. Everything felt too big, overwhelming. Edward knelt, matching her height. We will make it ours. Lily chose room near garden. She planted flowers with gardener, smiling. Vivian plotted final attempt secretly. She contacted distant relatives, offering deals. None agreed, fearing exposure consequences. Board members voted Vivian removal. Edward reclaimed control, permanently now. He focused on restructuring ethically. Lily attended school, first time nervous. Edward waited outside entire day. Lily returned smiling, sharing stories excitedly. Grandpa, I made a friend. Edward celebrated small victories deeply. Nights brought nightmares, Lily shaken crying. Edward comforted her until calm. He read stories nightly, patiently. Trust built slowly, night by night. Therapy sessions showed progress steadily. Lily laughed more often now. Edward adjusted lifestyle permanently changed. Meetings scheduled around school events. He attended every recital proudly. Vivian faced charges, obstruction, fraud. She watched downfall, helpless, bitter, alone. Edward felt no joy, vengeance, only relief, safety restored. Lily asked if Vivian gone. Edward answered, "She cannot hurt us." Lily nodded, feeling secure again. Holidays approached, decorations filled mansion. Lily decorated tree enthusiastically, laughing. Edward watched, realizing second chance. He whispered thank you silently. For forgiveness, opportunity granted. Lily placed star atop tree. "Grandpa, make wish," she asked. Edward replied, "I already have." Snow fell gently outside windows. Lily pressed nose against glass. She said, "Christmas feels warm." Edward hugged her from behind. "This is family," he said. Lily smiled, believing completely now. News headlines faded, replaced normalcy. Edward resumed leadership transparently. Lily continued healing steadily, bravely. Past pain transformed into purpose. Edward founded charity in daughter's name, focused on children without families. Lily attended openings, proudly holding hand. "Grandpa, Mommy would be proud." Edward nodded, voice thick with emotion. "Yes, she would, sweetheart." Vivian's trial date approached swiftly. Evidence overwhelming, verdict inevitable. Edward chose not to attend hearings. Lily mattered more than closure. One night, Lily asked again, "Grandpa, will you ever leave?" Edward answered without hesitation firmly, "Never again, not ever." Lily slept peacefully, holding Bear. Edward watched silently, guarding forever. Morning light returned brighter somehow. Healing continued step by step. Trust rebuilt through consistent love. The past no longer controlled. A future quietly began forming. Built on protection, honesty, care. Edward vowed, lifelong presence always. Lily felt safe, finally home. Their bond grew unbreakable, strong. Family found through painful truth. Tomorrow promised hope and healing. Winter deepened as routines settled slowly. Lily adjusted to mansion life carefully. Edward ensured warmth without overwhelming her. Therapists advised patience, consistency, repetition. Lily learned names of household staff. She greeted everyone politely every morning. Edward noticed confidence growing gradually, daily. School reports showed improvement, academically, socially. Lily made friends, sharing crayon stories. Teachers praised her kindness, resilience, openness. Edward attended meetings with school counselors. He listened more than speaking, always. At night, Lily asked many questions. About parents, memories, future safety. Edward answered honestly, age-appropriately. Trust deepened through predictable routines. Breakfast together every single morning. Homework reviewed patiently without pressure. Weekends reserved strictly for Lily. Board meetings reduced, delegated responsibly. Edward relearned balance through deliberate choices. Media attention slowly shifted elsewhere. Headlines replaced scandal with recovery narrative. Vivian awaited trial, isolated, forgotten. Edward avoided vengeance, focusing on healing. Lily visited garden daily after school. She watered flowers, whispering mommy messages. Edward joined, sometimes kneeling beside her. He shared stories about Lily's mother. Stories, gentle, warm, imperfect, human. Lily smiled, imagining her mother laughing. One afternoon, Lily asked an unexpected question. "Grandpa, why didn't you find us?" Edward froze, heart pierced instantly. He breathed deeply before responding slowly. "I made mistakes, choosing work over." Lily considered words, nodding thoughtfully. "Will you make same mistake?" Edward shook head firmly. "No. I learned hardest lesson already." Lily hugged him tightly, silently. That embrace healed something ancient. Court date approached. Tension returned briefly. Edward prepared testimony documentation thoroughly. Lily worried, fearing separation again. Edward reassured her, consistently, patiently, "Judge will decide what's best." Lily asked if best means together. Edward smiled, answering always together. Hearing day arrived, gray, solemn. Edward wore a simple suit deliberately. Lily waited with social worker nearby. Courtroom felt intimidating, echoing quietly. Vivian entered, shackled, composed, bitter. She avoided Edward's gaze completely. Proceedings, detailed deception, manipulation, cruelty. Evidence presented, overwhelming, undeniable, clear, Edward testified, accepting responsibility publicly. I failed my daughter before. I will not fail granddaughter. Judge listened carefully, asking questions. Edward answered transparently, without excuses. Lily waited, clutching stuffed bear. Verdict delivered, granting permanent custody. Lily ran to Edward, sobbing. He lifted her, promising safety. Outside cameras waited, shouting loudly. Edward shielded Lily, ignoring questions. He spoke one sentence only. My family deserves peace. Now, they returned home, exhausted, relieved. Lily slept deeply, uninterrupted that night. Edward watched, understanding responsibility, magnitude. Life slowly resumed comfortable rhythm. Lily joined art classes weekly. Edward displayed her drawings proudly. Mansion walls softened with color. Laughter replaced echoes of loneliness. Edward hosted modest holiday dinner. Staff joined, feeling appreciated, respected. Lily insisted, setting extra place. For Mommy, she explained softly. Edward honored request, quietly, respectfully. They shared stories, gratitude, warmth. Winter snow blanketed grounds peacefully. Lily built snowman, naming him Grandpa. Edward laughed harder than years. Spring approached, bringing renewal hope. Lily learned bicycle riding determinedly. Edward ran beside, steady, supportive. She fell, scraped knees, cried briefly. Edward cleaned wounds, comforted patiently. She stood again, pedaling bravely. Edward applauded, pride shining brightly. School performance approached, Lily nervous. Edward attended, sitting front row. Lily spotted him, smiled confidently. She sang clearly, voice steady. Edward wiped tears, discreetly smiling. Audience applauded Lily, bowed shyly. Edward felt profound gratitude, overwhelmed. Therapy sessions reduced gradually, successfully. Lily slept through nights peacefully. Nightmares faded, replaced with dreams. Edward resumed leadership, ethically renewed. He restructured company, prioritizing people. Charity expanded, supporting vulnerable children. Lily visited centers, inspiring others. She shared her story gently. Edward watched, humility shaping leadership. Summer arrived, bright, optimistic, joyful. Lily attended summer camp, happily. Edward checked in daily, lovingly. Lily wrote postcards, decorated hearts. She signed, Love Lily, always. Edward kept every card carefully. One evening, Lily asked softly, Grandpa, are you happy now? Edward considered, then answered truthfully, I am fulfilled because of you. Lily smiled, satisfied by answer. They watched sunset together quietly. Colors painted sky brilliantly. Edward reflected on journey endured. Loss, regret, redemption intertwined deeply. He learned presence outweighs power. Lily taught resilience, forgiveness, hope. Their bond strengthened beyond blood. Family defined by actions daily, not wealth, titles, appearances. Fall returned, marking year passing. Lily started new. Grade confidently. Edward attended. Orientation proudly. Teachers praised her empathy, kindness. Edward thanked them. Sincerely moved. Vivian sentenced. Prison quietly. Forgotten. Edward felt closure. Without satisfaction. Focus remained on Lily's future. Halloween arrived. Costumes, laughter, excitement. Lily dressed as brave hero. Edward matched. Costume playfully. Neighbors welcomed them warmly. Community embraced their quiet story. Thanksgiving brought reflection, gratitude, togetherness. Lily named blessings enthusiastically. Grandpa, family home, love, safety. Edward added, second chances matter. Winter approached, again, full circle. Christmas lights decorated halls softly. Lily helped hang ornaments carefully. Edward watched, recognizing transformation complete. This Christmas felt profoundly different. No fear, no searching, desperation, only belonging, warmth, shared joy. Lily placed Star atop tree. Edward lifted her gently. She whispered, Thank you, Grandpa. Edward whispered, Thank you, Lily. Outside, snow fell quietly. Inside, home glowed warmly. 1 year changed everything forever. Pain transformed into purpose, enduring love replaced neglect permanently. Family rebuilt through accountability care. Edward promised continued presence always. Lily trusted that promise fully. Their future felt secure, hopeful. Lessons carried forward intentionally. Healing continued beyond visible scars. Life moved forward, gently, steadily. Edward finally felt at peace. Lily finally felt protected, loved. A bond forged through hardship, stronger than circumstance or time. Christmas Eve arrived. Joyful. The shared cocoa, fireplace glowing. Edward reads stories softly. Lily listened, smiling peacefully. Family existed exactly here. Hope filled every corner. Winter settled quietly over estate. Edward woke early, reflecting on year. Lily slept peacefully, clutching stuffed bear. Morning sunlight filled halls gently. Edward prepared breakfast, himself smiling. Pancakes slightly burned, still appreciated. Lily laughed, teasing Grandpa playfully. He pretended offense, dramatically exaggerated. Joy felt simple, honest, earned. After breakfast, they planned small trip. Just lake nearby, nothing extravagant. Edward chose simplicity intentionally. Now Lily packed snacks, coloring pencils. She reminded Edward of jackets. Cold air smelled fresh, clean. Lake reflected sky like mirror. Ducks gathered, expecting crumbs eagerly. Lily fed them carefully, counting. Edward photographed a moment quietly, gratefully. They walked path, discussing dreams. Lily wanted teacher, artist, helper. Edward encouraged curiosity without pressure. He promised support whichever path. Lily asked about past mistakes. Edward answered truthfully without excuses. Owning mistakes taught accountability, strength. Lily nodded, absorbing lesson deeply. Afternoon clouds gathered softly overhead. They returned home before snowfall. Fire crackled, warmth spreading comfort. Lily drew pictures from memory. Edward framed another, proudly smiling. Doorbell rang, unexpected visitor arrived. Social worker, checking progress routine. She observed, environment calm, stable. Lily chatted confidently, showing artwork. Report concluded, outstanding adjustment, success. Edward thanked her, sincerely relieved. The evening brought quiet reflection together. They cooked soup, laughing clumsily. Lily insisted, adding extra carrots. Edward complied, trusting her judgment. Dinner tasted better. Shared effort. Night approached, stars bright, visible. Lily asked story before bed. Edward chose one about courage. Story emphasized choices shaping futures. Lily listened, eyes heavy, peaceful. Edward tucked her gently, whispering, "Good night, my brave girl." She smiled, already half asleep. Edward lingered, doorway emotional, grateful. He returned downstairs, reflecting quietly. Past ambition once defined everything. Now purpose felt grounded, human. Phone buzzed, bored message, awaiting. Edward postponed answering, choosing family. Snow began falling steadily outside. He stepped on the balcony, breathing. Silence felt healing, not empty. Year earlier, loneliness dominated nights. Now responsibility felt meaningful, shared. Edward re-entered warmth of home. He reviewed calendar, intentionally lighter. Vacations, scheduled experiences, prioritized. Charity gala, replaced with school events. Life recalibrated, values reordered. Midnight approached, signaling Christmas Eve. Tree lights glowed softly, twinkling. Edward placed final ornament quietly. It bore Lily's handwritten name. He whispered promise, protecting forever. Upstairs, Lily murmured, dreaming happily. Edward smiled, heartful calm. Morning arrived with gentle snowfall. Lily rushed downstairs, excitement overflowing. Presents modest, thoughtful, meaningful. She hugged Edward, repeatedly laughing. "Thank you, Grandpa. Best Christmas." Edward replied, "Best Christmas indeed." They shared cocoa, marshmallows melting. Fireplace warmth matched hearts inside. Later, community children visited briefly. Lily shared toys generously. Proudly, Edward watched leadership, modeled naturally. Afternoon passed. Quietly, contentedly. Evening dinner. Simple, cherished together. Lily helped clear table happily. She thanked Edward for everything. Edward replied, "Thank you for me." Night settled, peaceful, complete whole. Year closed with lessons learned. Wealth meant nothing without presence. Power meaningless without compassion, accountability. Family chosen through commitment actions. Edward understood this truth fully. Lily embodied future hope resilience. Snow blanketed worlds silently. Home glowed beacon warmth. Edward finally felt deserving peace. Lily finally felt unafraid, secure. They stood by window together, watching snowflakes drift endlessly. Lily leaned head against Edward. He wrapped arm protectively. No words needed anymore. Story reached quiet resolution here. Life continued forward, gently, steadily. Tomorrow promised growth, challenges, joy. Edward welcomed all with readiness. Lily welcomed all with trust. Christmas bells echoed faintly outside. World felt softer, kinder tonight. Edward whispered gratitude, silently upward. Lily whispered wish for everyone. They turned lights off together. The staircase creaked, familiar, comforting. Bedroom door closed softly. Dreams awaited, filled with light. Another chapter, ready unwritten ahead, lessons would guide future steps. Edward vowed continued honesty, humility. Lily vowed continued kindness, courage. Home stood, symbol transformation complete. Past pain no longer ruled. Forgiveness released heavy burdens. Accountability built trust, foundations. Love defined family permanently. Night deepened, peaceful, undisturbed. Snow continued falling endlessly. World paused, allowing healing. Edward breathed, deeply satisfied, content. Lily slept, smiling softly. Christmas magic felt quietly real. Not loud, dramatic, extravagant. Simple, steady, life-changing. One decision changed destiny. One child reshaped purpose. 1 year rewrote everything. Edward embraced future confidently. Lily embraced future fearlessly. Morning would bring ordinary joys. School, laughter, learning, growth. Edward ready, present, engaged. Lily ready, curious, hopeful. Story closes, but journey continues. Viewers reflect lessons within choices. Define outcomes compassionately. Time rewards those who change. Family built through actions. Healing possible after mistakes. Love grows when protected. Hope survives darkest seasons. Christmas reminds what matters. Home means being there. Edward learned finally, completely. Lily taught without knowing. Their bond remained unbreakable. Future awaited patiently, kindly. Night wrapped world gently. Lights dimmed, stars brightened. Silence spoke, peace loudly. Endings create beginnings. Oft this ending felt right. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Carry lesson forward always. Choose presence over absence. Choose honesty over fear. Choose love over pride. Christmas spirit lives daily. Stories matter because people. Remember this quiet truth. Life changes when we do. Hold family close, always. Let go, past regrets. Step forward with courage. Peace follows accountability, love. Hope endures through commitment. Subscribe to Hidden Tale Stories.